Time for tonight's rewrite. For those who remain unsure of who is the worst president in American history, recently released audio tapes should permanently settle the question. This is a conversation between former White House senior advisor Charles Colson and the 37th President of the United States, Richard M. Nixon.
I've always had a little prejudice. I have not prejudiced in the sense that all humans recognize it. You know, that all people have certain traits. The Jews have certain traits. The Irish have certain. Virtually every Irish I know is mainly rash. That's a sort of natural trait. Particularly the real Irish. And they do very stupid things. The Italians, of course, just don't have their heads screwed on tight. And they're wonderful people. And the Jews have a very impressive, embracing, conscious personalities, but they're just able people. I didn't notice any Jewish names in our coming back from Vietnam. Well, they don't go out and flyer. That's one thing. They go out the Air Force.
And then there is this conversation between Nixon and his secretary, Rosemary Woods, about Secretary of State William Rogers.
Bill Rogers has got somewhat of a, and to his credit, it's a decent feeling, somewhat of a sort of blind spot black, because he's, been in New York, team man, and all the rest. He says, well, they're coming along, and then after all, they're going to strengthen our country in the end, because they're strong physically, and some of them are smart and so forth. So my own view is that I think he's right if you're talking in terms of 500 years. I think he's wrong in terms of 50 years. What has to happen is that they have to be frankly inbred. That's the only thing that's going to do it, Rose.
The tapes were recorded in February and March of 1973, more than a year before Nixon resigned due to the Watergate scandal, and just after he surrendered in a war that he had needlessly prolonged that killed over 58,000 American soldiers and accomplished absolutely nothing. That's nearly 10 times the number of American soldiers who've given their lives in Iraq and Afghanistan. And there's also this exchange between the president and National Security Advisor Henry Kissinger.
The emigration of Jews from the Soviet Union is not an objective of American foreign policy. When they put Jews into gas chambers in the Soviet Union, it is not an American concern, maybe a humanitarian concern. But we can't go off the world because of it.
That's right. Rewind the DVR if you have to. You just heard the racist, anti-Semitic President of the United States agree with his Jewish National Security Advisor that if the Soviets put Jews into gas chambers, it should not concern us. Such was the casual evil of the banter in the Nixon Oval Office. So the rewrite tonight is yours. All of you who came of age after the Nixon presidency who have some other name at the top of your list of worst presidents need to write the word Nixon over whatever name you mistakenly have listed as the worst president in history.